Hello, welcome to Gus McDoll's Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we play through each of the battles in the American Grand Campaign in Close Combat 4, the Battle of the Bulge. We use historical World War II US Army doctrine to plan and conduct each battle. We start on the strategic map. It is 1600 hours on December 17, 1944, and the weather is foggy. US forces have no air support, no artillery, and no supply drops. In the last episode, the US 112th Regimental Combat Team of 28th Division fought the German Kampfgruppe Falloy from the Lehr Division at Losheim. The battle was scored as a major German victory, but was actually a reconnaissance and counter-reconnaissance effort with low casualties on both sides. The next battle is at Wiltz, between the US 110th Regimental Combat Team of 28th Division and the German Kampfgruppe 901 Lehr Division. Commander, Wiltz contains a large number of buildings which will provide excellent cover for both attacker and defender. Expect the Germans to initially focus on seizing Chateau de Wiltz. In this terrain, you should be able to overcome any disadvantage in armour strength. Watch for isolated panzers. It is vital that you hold this position. On the US side is an American infantry battle group from the 110th Infantry Regiment under command of Captain Searley. It moves slowly and reserves are nearly depleted. The company consists of 3 platoons. 1st and 2nd platoon are infantry, and 3rd platoon is a support platoon with 2 anti-tank guns and a mortar. The original squads retain their names and statistics. The battle group was under strength in its previous battles against Kampfgruppe 901 on the Siegfried Line. Now it has withdrawn to Wiltz, it has been reinforced and brought up to full strength. Let's rename the new squads off camera for ease of reference. Now let's review each of the squads. 1-1 is 1st Platoon Headquarters. 3-1 is 3rd Platoon Headquarters. 2-1 is 2nd Platoon Headquarters. 1-2 is a BAR squad. 2-2 is a BAR squad. 1-3 is a rifle squad. 2-3 is a rifle squad. 3-5 is a recon team. 3-2 is a 57mm anti-tank gun. 3-3 is also a 57mm anti-tank gun. 1-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 2-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 3-4 is a 60mm light mortar. 1-4 is an M9 bazooka team. And 2-4 is also an M9 bazooka team. Next, let's look at the map and conduct a commander's estimate of the situation. Our mission is to guard against an enemy advance through Wiltz. Wiltz is a large town at the foot of the Chateau de Wiltz. The chateau is built on a hill overlooking the Wiltz River to the north that winds its way from west to east, fed by a small creek to the southeast. The eastern approaches to the chateau are wooded slopes, and the chateau dominates the road into Wiltz. The town itself consists of numerous winding streets with close-packed multi-storey buildings either side. In the north is a railroad running east-west to the railroad station. To the south on the Grand Rue, a large warehouse building stores agricultural produce from the surrounding farmlands. This is what Wiltz looks like today. Let me know in the comments if you've ever actually been there. This is complex terrain because observation in most parts of the town is much less than weapon ranges. Most action will be fought at close range. However, the chateau has commanding views of the surrounding area, as does the two-storey building to the northeast. The briefing told us that Wiltz contains a large number of buildings which will provide excellent cover for both attacker and defender. The wooded slopes to the east also provide concealment. The whole town is an obstacle to movement, as the streets canalise vehicle movement along predictable lines and the buildings overlook the streets. It is a defender's dream and an attacker's nightmare. The chateau, with its commanding views and thick walls, is the obvious key terrain. Approaches to Wiltz from the east are either the narrow road between the river and the chateau in the north, or the wooded slopes to the south. The Americans last fought Kampfgruppe 901 at the Siegfried Line. The Kampfgruppe comprised around 1 platoon each of medium or heavy tanks, half-tracks, and supporting infantry. The briefing warns us to expect the Germans to initially focus on seizing Chateau de Wiltz. This is reasonable given that American possession of the chateau prevents vehicle movement along the road into Wiltz. German infantry could assault the east face of the chateau, climbing the slope and scaling the walls. The infantry assault could be supported by vehicles along the road. The killing zone would be the eastern half of the chateau and adjacent roadway. Alternatively, the Germans could move around to the south and try to infiltrate Wiltz rather than conduct a direct assault. The Germans could move infantry squads up the wooded slopes close to the buildings, and then rush the buildings to overwhelm defenders. The infantry could be supported by tanks on the slopes. The killing zone would be the open ground along and adjacent to the Grande Rue. There are innumerable defensive possibilities in Wiltz. Plenty of ambush locations, and buildings that can be turned into mini-fortresses. But the Americans first need to deny the Germans control of the chateau and access to the town. So, we will meet the German attack head-on. First Platoon will contest the chateau. They will push forward quickly to seize the building and then defend it. Second Platoon will cover the southern approach. They will also be able to put flanking fire on the chateau. Third Platoon will be dispersed. An anti-tank gun to the north, looking down the road. A second anti-tank gun in second platoon's position, covering the Grande Rue. The recon team in the two-storey building to the north. And headquarters and the mortar to the rear near the railroad station. I have made my decision and have placed the platoons and squads in position. And so we begin. First Platoon rushes forward to seize the chateau.
Area secured. Move completed.
Take people!
3-2, Harris's anti-tank gun, fires on a Panzer IV on the road. There is also a half-track.
Auf uns wird geschossen! In position.
The Panzer is knocked out.
Move completed.
Harris opens fire on the flame half-track. A Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251x16 Flammenwerfer. Hit and destroyed. German infantry on the wooded slopes.
Sergeant!
First platoon takes machine gun fire and Riley is knocked out. Another Panzer IV on the wooded slopes to the south. And a Panther. Both out of bazooka range.
Team redeployed.
Van Kamp's mortar drops rounds amongst the Germans in the woods. The Panther pushes forward. Eagleton, in 2nd Platoon, is seriously injured and unconscious. The Rifle Squad withdraws to cover. The mortar shifts fire to a half-track. The Panzers are firing at the chateau.
Move completed.
Martinez's bazooka team moves up. Two German mortar rounds within a second of each other, meaning 2 mortars. To the south, German infantry in the tree line, with 2 tanks in support. The BAR squad ambushes them in the open. No shot on the tanks. The German assault on the chateau intensifies.
Team redeployed.
The Sturmgrenadier squad to the south was destroyed in the ambush. Months in training, dead in seconds.
Conserving ammunition! Conserving ammunition!
Martinez is momentarily stunned and hardly killed by a tank round from the Panther. First platoon in the Chateau is under pressure. The rifle squad is lost. A brutal firefight erupts.
Enemy spotted.
Martinez fires and misses. The panzers are providing fire support from the south. Van Camp shoots a smoke mission to blind them. Captain Mullen is killed. The Panzer IV advances. First platoon headquarters is overrun.
Team lost! Take cover!
Second platoon enters the fight against the Germans assaulting the south face of the chateau.
Take cover!
Brooker immobilizes the Panzer IV. Hit and destroyed. German artillery hits the chateau. Second platoon is under mortar fire.
Keep your heads down.
And machine gun and tank fire. Brooker pushes up to get a shot at the Panther. Hit and destroyed.
Conserving ammunition!
Finley's BAR squad pushes up to clear the southern flank. The Germans have had enough. Decisive American victory. The battle ended because time ran out. Both sides still control some victory locations. The Americans won the battle because they control a greater number of crucial victory locations than the Germans. The Americans took 10 killed and 9 wounded. The Germans took 21 killed, 24 wounded, 3 tanks destroyed, and 1 half-track destroyed. Let's examine the American squads. Captain Mullen was killed and his headquarters wiped out. Herman is awarded the Combat Infantryman's Badge and Swift the Bronze Star. Riley's squad is wiped out. Harley is killed. And Seymour wounded. MacDonald seriously wounded. Finley is awarded the Combat Infantryman's Badge. Eagleton's squad is down to 2 members. The recon team is okay. Brooker claims 2 tanks and is awarded the Bronze Star to go with his Combat Infantryman's Badge. Harris shares credit for a tank and a half-track and is posthumously awarded the Bronze Star. The rest of 3rd Platoon is fine. So far, the campaign remains a major American victory. The Grand Campaign has 15 days remaining. Your defence of the Ardennes is progressing better than your historical counterparts. At the end of this last encounter of the day, you can clearly see the bulge that gives this battle its name. Over the campaign, cumulative American losses are 138 killed in action, 131 wounded in action, 5 tanks, 1 vehicle, and 10 guns. Cumulative German losses are 281 killed, 237 wounded, 32 tanks, and 22 armoured vehicles. So, what did we learn? This battle definitely qualified as heavy fighting. The Germans put everything into the fight for the chateau. By the end of the battle, they had largely run out of infantry, but still held the east wing of the chateau. This battle demonstrates the truth of force ratios. It is often said that at the point of the attacker must be around 3 times as strong as the defender in order to prevail. While 2nd and 3rd platoons accounted for the German vehicles on either flank, most of the German company's strength was thrown against essentially 1 American platoon in the fight for the chateau. The German company almost won the chateau from the American platoon. But the Germans took roughly 3 times the casualties in the attack. 45 dead or wounded plus 3 tanks and a half-track, against 19 dead or wounded. Finally, an improve. Next time, I will move the mortar and 3rd platoon headquarters closer to the chateau. That way, they can reinforce the position if needed. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. And stay tuned for the next episode.